I'm getting a pumpkin beer. I'll be back.
Pumpkin.
We're recording. We are recording.
We rolling, Dee. All right.
That intro, Bob.
Let's do it.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Straight Chilling. Each week, we watch and review a horror film for your entertainment. You can send all questions and comments to straightchillingpodcast@gmail.com. And don't forget to keep chilling.
Yeah, we straight chillin', serial killin'. 5 cold villains on the mic, got you reelin'. 5-star ratings from the floor to the ceiling. If you get your 1 star, no time for feelings. Got a demon DJ, all the 1s and 2s. By the name Elsa Bob, so don't get confused. So grab a seat by the fire, roast them all with 2. And prepare to hear the legend of the Straight Chillin' crew.
What up, nerds? Welcome to a very whoopee episode of Straight Chilling. My name is Bob, and I'll be your host for the evening. This is episode number 236, recorded on Monday, October 14th, 2019. Tonight, we're going to be talking about probably the scariest movie I've ever seen in my damn life. It was chosen by our lovely Patreon supporter, Michael, and that movie is Ghost from 1990. Yeah, with Patrick Swayze. Let's go. It's been a long time coming, which is weird to say, but it actually has been.
I cannot wait to talk about Ghost. Not only have I been delayed years in talking about Ghost, we have just been delayed an extra hour tonight talking about
Apologies
Ghost.
if our audio sucks wild wieners tonight, but things have been happening.
Wiener.
Wow.
The wild wieners.
This is just the Lord saying we shouldn't be doing a damn show on Ghost. So
Yeah, well,
No.
the Lord.
I think it's all our hailing Satan.
if the Lord is saying anything about our podcast, I think just general stop is where he's landed on that issue.
You know I'm crazy. I'm Patrick Swayze.
Hey, we can
I
hear the
am-
bumps at least. All
I
right.
am Patrick
I know.
Swayze. Oh, Gray Shoss. So yeah, we're talking about Ghost. Before we get into it, let's tackle some housekeeping real quick.
Wait,
just a
Bob,
remi-
you didn't introduce everyone.
Oh,
We're just a couple
yeah.
of pieces of shit that nobody cares about, apparently.
You know what? I think one of y'all should host this episode. Just totally change
Too
everything.
late for that, Bob.
Changing it all. First up, calling in from just outside Chicago, we got our boy Randy Gandy G. Landy.
Oh, I got a name now. Oh,
Mhm.
what's up?
That's you. And last but not least, calling in from Southern Korea, we got our boy Soju. What's up?
What up? It's your boy, Swayze Stains. Scooping in. Doing my dirty dancing into the room. Here we go. Here. YouTube exclusive. This is
Uh-oh.
Put your wiener away.
My sway. My Swayze.
Wild,
Mostly-
wild wieners out.
Mostly Wiener.
That is a dirty
Extra.
goddamn dance.
Filthy. Oh, housekeeping. November poll pick is currently posted on our Patreon website. If you support us at the $5 level or above, you get the chance to vote on a movie we're talking about this November. The theme of the month is movies that Juice would hate. And the 3 movies you can vote between are Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, Rob Zombie's 31, and Rob Zombie's The Devil's Rejects.
Huh.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Very interesting. There is currently a tie. There's a tie
Between which two?
between The Devil's Rejects and 31. So we need a
Uh-oh.
tiebreaker.
I have seen one of those films. I know I hate it. I have heard about the other one. I am confident I will hate it.
Yeah, probably.
I'm in a similar situation.
Yes.
It's not even my month, and I'm in a very similar
That's
situation.
surprising. I thought Devil's Rejects might sweep the board, but apparently 31 is notoriously bad.
People want your hate. They want your hate on record, and they want it in with fiercity.
The old Juice rant. It's coming. November.
Oh.
Prepare yourselves.
I wish you guys could have all heard the Juice rant that was immediate as soon as we started talking today on Zoom. A full-on technological meltdown happened.
I've already been
Dumbest
bitching
fucking
this morning.
Shit.
Yeah.
It's so
Why is that
fucking
making
dumb.
goddamn sense?
The only thing to cheer me up is Ghost.
Yeah,
Oh,
Swayze-
shit.
Swayze will save you.
Swayze.
Save me, Swayze. Save me.
You in danger, girl.
Savvy Swayze. So Get your votes in before the end of October. Again, we need that tiebreaker. Help us out. We got a brand new Patreon member, brand new Patreon supporter. We got to give some shouts outs here. Big thanks to Caitlin for supporting the show. It definitely means a lot to us, helps us keep the lights on. And of course, we owe you that straight chilling salute. This one is for you, Caitlin.
Slap me in the ass!
Yes.
It's so worth
Yes,
it.
and
Thank you,
Goosebumps.
Caitlin. Slap me in the ass.
Thank you, Caitlin.
Hey, thanks.
It's really growing on me, guys. I really like it.
Yeah, your ass is getting redder too.
I can tell.
I really do. I like it a lot.
You know, this could work for me. It's a lifestyle change, but it could work.
Finally getting there. Cool. So we have been raffling off a movie bundle each week for the month of October. So we're doing it again this week. We got movies coming your way. The only thing you got to do to join the raffle is support us on Patreon at any tier at all. This week's winner is James B.
James
So you got a
B.
stack of movies coming.
Congrats,
your way,
James B.
And this is something we're doing for the month of October, right? A little Halloween special giveaway.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah,
so
help you
excited
get in the
about Halloween,
spooky
Bob.
season.
You're like the Saint Nick of Halloween. Saint Bob.
That would be Satan. Satan Nick.
Oh, Satan.
All in the name of Satan.
Yes,
There you go.
Yes, indeed.
All in
Ringo.
the name.
It's so much better when we can all
I
hear
know.
it.
We're all in on the joke.
Yeah. Oh man. We're
Jokes.
not just talking over sound bumps now.
True.
Good.
So keep your eyeballs on your mailbox, James. You got some movies coming your way. Let us know you got them. Make sure they made them to you safely. Juice, do you have any YouTube or Twitch news?
Yes, we are. Last time I checked, one subscriber away from 300. Thank you, everyone, for
damn.
subscribing to us on YouTube. If you subscribe to us on YouTube, you'll get some extra content besides just the general podcast. Been playing video games, playing through the Blair Witch Project game this month on Twitch. And it's still fun, still getting scared. So if you like to watch me bish out on some Blair Witch Project, you can watch that live at twitch.tv/Straight Chilling Podcast, or you can watch it after the fact on our YouTube channel. Also, video game reviews are going up. Friday the 13th, the game review is up, so you can check that out, see what I thought about our July game. This week, also another video game review going up for that Hello Neighbor that I played in August. It's kind of like that Disturbia kind of game where you got to sneak into your neighbor's house after he like killed somebody and buried him in the basement and whatnot. Spoilers, not really. And so that's up, and yeah, I think that's all of our housekeeping.
Cool.
House kept. This
Thank you.
house is kept.
This
Yeah,
house is
appreciate
kept.
all you subscribers and commenters and likers and whatnot. Really helps people find us. Appreciate you. Hashtag.
Appreciate you. All you likers out there.
All
Big
you
Big time likers and watchers. Hey, slam that bell. Click that subscribe.
Oh, slam that bell. Fuck
Slam
yeah.
it.
Oh, gentlemen, do you know what time it is?
What time is it, Bob?
It's time to talk about what we've been watching this week.
Hey gang, what you been watching?
Hey, Randy,
Hey.
what you been watching?
What should I been watching? Well, first of all, watched a little movie by the name of El Camino. It's a
Whoa.
Breaking Bad film, as
Yeah.
I'm told, and I enjoyed it pretty good. I would say that, like, for those who don't know, it's a continuation of Breaking Bad, the series, and without like giving away anything about that show, even though it's like fucking well past time you knew about everything about it, but it just sort of like continues the story in a loose way, or not in a loose way, but like in a. It's not like the main story was pretty wrapped up, so this is just sort of like an epilogue almost. It's like a pretty good episode of Breaking Bad that's 2 hours long. I liked it a lot. I
Okay.
wouldn't say it was completely necessary at all,
Nah.
but I will say that the performances were great. The shoot, like it looked great. The only thing that was like distracting for me is, and I don't mean this to sound mean to the actor, but my God, the Todd has gained some weight.
Todd is one of the biggest.
Oh,
cooters.
Todd.
Deadeye
The
Todd,
biggest
Deadeye Todd,
cooters.
man, he's been
He's
slamming
back.
some soup hard.
Nice.
Yeah, there's a lot of flashbacks in the movie, so
The
you get a lot
Todd
of
is
like,
canceled.
It's like
Like the
bacon
character
soup
Todd.
too, or some shit.
Hashtag-
Bacon soup.
Hashtag
need to lay
Team
down-
Todd, right, Bob?
No,
fuck the
Todd.
best-selling T-shirt of never.
Todd is the worst.
I forgot about old Todd. I used to use
Yeah.
that guy to razz Bob pretty good.
He's the worst.
Yeah, he's Cooter Supreme for sure in
Yeah.
that show, and yeah, but it was a good time. And then the other thing that I watched a little Big Mouth, and I watched Carrie again, but the other thing I watched that I hadn't seen before was Blackcoat's Daughter. Have you guys seen that movie?
Uh-uh.
I saw like
Bob?
some of it, parts of it. Yeah.
So I mean, I went into that not like I had just seen the trailer and I had heard that it was pretty good, and it did surprise me. But I it was like well acted and all this shit. It was very very much a slow burn. But then at the end of the movie, I was a little confused. I was like, huh, okay, I guess that makes sense or whatever. And then like the next day, I watched some YouTube reviews of it just to like sort of like, you know, because I was pondering it. And I
Yeah.
realized that I like completely whiffed on like a major plot point. I had no, like, I was like, oh shit.
really?
Oh, okay. Like I don't want to spoil anything, so I won't. But like,
Yeah.
there was one thing I was like, oh, I guess I'm stupid.
Like, did you miss a scene or something, or it just
No,
totally
no,
went
it was
over your
literally
head?
it just went completely over my head.
Huh.
And it's in fairness, I was like a little bit towards the nodding off portion of the night, but
Oh, okay.
no excuse. I should have been able to parse this piece of information, and I just didn't. But yeah, it was another like well acted, well shot film, like, but very much a slow burn. And I would say that like it's definitely not a movie that's for everybody because it's, I don't know, it's like slow. It's one of the slower movies you'll see. Like it's probably pushes my patience a little bit, which is hard to do because I like the slow burn sort of thing. So, but I would recommend it generally.
Cool.
That's about all for me.
Sway. Hey, Juice, what you been watching?
Dude, I know I had mentioned I was like holding off, but I watched Over the Garden Wall. I was
Hell
finishing
yeah.
it up last night. Dude, there's that opening song, like the opening chord, and man, it's just now like it just like
It's good.
resonates me. Yeah, it's like
That
so
whole
it's-
soundtrack is great.
It is. It's absolutely amazing. We talk about this a lot, this show
Yeah.
a lot on this. But if you haven't seen Over the Garden Wall, definitely do yourself a favor. Check that out. It is one of the most perfect like fall watches, and just that soundtrack fits fall so well too. It's got, and I guess because that opening song, it's got this like kind of like sad tone, and so like it makes me like excited, but also like sad. Like, oh, autumn. It feels like
It's
so
autumn,
short.
man.
Yeah, autumn is exactly. It's like magical.
They distilled the feeling
It's
of autumn.
also it's so short, and like, you know, like winter's coming, so it's just like, I don't know, it is
It's the end of
magical.
summer. It makes you sad, but
Yeah.
you enjoy autumn for what it is too. It's great. It's
Yeah,
great.
it is
It's
So,
great. Not watch. It's
yeah.
on Hulu, and there's no goddamn commercials, even on the cheapo version that
It's
we
on
use.
Netflix too,
Is it?
or
Hey,
well,
fuck
my
me.
Netflix on
Well,
free
I don't
Netflix.
know if it is over here, but it's definitely on Hulu. And
Okay.
Also,
if you
on
haven't watched it,
DVD.
that's true. Which is my preferred method of watching because you don't have to do the play next episode.
Oh
Do
yeah,
you feel like a piece of shit?
yeah.
No? Okay, I guess see you in a few hours. No,
Yeah, and the episodes are so short too. Like, essentially watching it, I guess, is like watching an autumn movie, because it's like, I
Yeah,
think totals
it's-
around maybe like 2
it's
hours.
like 2.5 hours total max.
Yeah.
Like, it's not more than that.
Yeah,
It's like-
because
it's a longer
There's
movie.
10 episodes, and I think they're all generally between like 10 to 12 minutes. So, like, overall, it's, I think, within 2 hour range. So, yeah, love watching that. I listened back to some episodes of ours, some Halloween special episodes, also like the
Oh.
Hocus Pocus episodes. Hocus Pocus episodes, pretty solid. And
Are you what you've been
I
watching
promote-
our
I'm
own
what- yeah,
fucking
I've been-
podcast?
It's
You're the
Halloween
guy who goes to his show, goes to a like plays in a band and wears his own shirt at a
I'm
show.
wearing my own shirt.
Oh, we sell
Uh,
these in the back. Wow, what a great deal!
So yeah, those were, and it made me want to watch Hocus Pocus. So I went ahead and watched Hocus Pocus to kind of follow up that episode.
Got to refresh the definition of Yabo in your
Yeah,
lexicon.
Yabos. I can't
Reset
believe
it.
it was just last year that we started using that on this podcast. It feels like such a staple to the show now.
It is now.
It's a staple to our lives.
The Yabos. And I also got a chance to go to a theme park out here. It's called Everland. It's just outside of Seoul, and they had like kind of their own Halloween Horror Nights type of deal.
Nice.
And it was really cool. It's just getting into the Halloween season, and I haven't been to Halloween Horror Nights in a few years now, so to kind of experience something like that was nice. They had like the haunted houses, they had this zombie area set up, and then they did like some performances. Like the zombie makeup like that they had like looked really great. Some like eyes were popping out of people's heads and like dripping down their faces and stuff. Looked really great. But they also had some other areas too. Like they had like a Day of the Dead area set up where you could like get your face painted, and they had like just like a bar set up, get some tequila and whatnot. But it was good. It was a fun night out there. Good spooky season fun. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Sweet deal.
Yeah.
Want to know what I've been watching?
Yeah,
Nope.
Bob, what you been watching? You
Well,
always
let me
gotta
tell
ask.
you. Let me tell you something.
Spill it, girl. Spill it.
I checked out the killing of a sacred deer this week.
Oh. Did you watch any
Oh
movies?
yeah. Oh wait, I just watched that one, right?
Yeah.
Though?
Yeah.
You gushed about it.
Right?
It
Right.
clearly left a lasting impression.
I couldn't remember if that was the name. Like, yeah, but yes. How did you? Was that
Yeah.
the first time you watched it, Bob?
Yeah, never seen it before.
Okay. How did you like it?
It's dope.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Nicole Kidman and that other dude from In Bruges, whatever, Colin Farrell.
Yeah.
And some pretty impressive kid actors that I didn't really recognize them from anything else, but it's like a pretty simple, slow moving story about this doctor played by Colin Farrell. He, accidentally loses a patient, like via surgery.
Was
goes
it a
wrong.
deer?
It's this little boy's father, and he kind of tries to take the little boy under his wing a little bit, and like I guess maybe kind of be a step-in father figure. And turns out the little kid's fucking nuts. It's really good. I enjoyed it quite a bit, and the acting style in this movie is like incredibly deadpan,
It is. Yeah.
but it works for the film. There's like one or
It's
two
pretty
scenes
funny
where-
at times.
That's what I was gonna say. It's like really funny. I don't know,
But the stuff that they're doing's fucked up.
yes.
Even
Sounds
the
like a-
stuff like they'll have a dialogue. Like there's this one where he's talking to his son, like in the hospital, and so the whole situation's really fucked up. But like the and even like what he's talking about is pretty fucked up. But it comes off as like fun, like funny. It's a weird mix. And also I like to, you know what I'm talking about, Bob?
Yeah, I just remember.
Yeah.
Sounds like you're beating around a pretty big bush there.
Well, I don't want to
Yeah,
spoil.
it's a huge
anything.
bush.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I understand. I'm just
Massive
saying.
bush.
But
Sounds like you're working
also
in parameters here.
the type of horror. I know this is Bob's what you've been watching, but the type of horror was kind of refreshing to me. Did you like agree, Bob? Like just how
Yeah,
it
it's
all
different.
played out. Yeah, it's
Who
pretty
played the deer?
simple.
It's different. Oh, that was Nicole Kidman. She's a really hot deer.
Oh, she's lanky enough, I think.
Yeah, she's got that Cat in the Hat style makeup on. You know.
Oh yeah.
She kills it.
A really painful kind that makes you like an actor go insane. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the
Super-
that's the kind.
super deadpan. She kills it.
Cool.
I also rewatched Halloween 2018 because it's fucking good. I rewatched.
Do you have
The
a pumpkin
Guest.
bond me?
Bob,
Pumpkin.
how does it live up a year later after
It's
all
still great.
the
I like it.
critiques you've heard?
All the critiques. It's good, man. It's a good movie.
You don't
I've
think it's
avoided
just
that
okay?
No, I think it's good.
Okay.
I've avoided that particular franchise in anticipation of a particular
Mhm.
Joe Bob
Mhm.
joint that's coming out
I see.
on
Yeah.
the 25th, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I probably should have mentioned that earlier, but just a reminder, we're going to be hosting another Joe Bob live watch party Friday, October 25th. I don't remember what time it starts. Either 8 or 9 p.m. I don't remember. But we'll post a link to join that just before the show starts. So keep an eye out for that. Ooh. I rewatched The Guest, which is an Adam Wingard directed movie. It's sort of kind of like The Terminator meets Halloween in a way, and it's fucking great. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. It's great for spooky season time. Slam your eyeballs into that. And yeah, that's pretty much what I've been watching. I think I'm going to stop there. I think that's plenty.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You know what else you watch?
You could go so much deeper with it, couldn't you? You have like 12
Yeah.
more movies to rattle off.
I got a couple. Yeah.
You know what else you watch, Bob?
What's that?
Ghost.
Yeah.
Nice segue.
My pitch for episode 100. My poll pick for February's Love selection or whatever.
It took
here we
some
are.
Some poor supporter of ours to pay us money so that we could talk about this stupid movie for you. This is your fault. This is not Michael's fault. This is fucking your fault, dude.
It makes
Now
it,
it's time for us to
I
have
will
an hour-long conversation about whether or not this is fucking horror.
I really have to like give shouts outs to Michael for this and really appreciate it because I have there's a bonus.
I've got a boner.
You have a Juice.
There's a bonus. No. There's a bonus pleasure
You
point
love
to
Clay. We've all
this
heard.
particular episode because Bob is so salty about it. He's like, it's October. We're supposed to be watching horror movies. Oh, we gotta watch Ghost. And just listening to Bob bitch about it.
You know,
it's just so internally salty, like my time's running out. Oh, Halloween
My
season.
time's running out. The coffin is calling.
He just hated to talk about this movie so much, and even more so because it's in October. I think it's
What
fucking
says
hilarious.
Halloween more than Whoopi Goldberg?
That was my point. Is like in context of the show, I was like, we got 4 shows for the month of October. Let's talk about fucking Ghosts. What are you talking about? Nobody wants to hear that.
Rob, if you would have just supported in February, we wouldn't be in this position.
Dude, I didn't vote.
If you just laid down, we should have all picked Ghost for the poll pick. Is obviously
Also,
the thing
this
we should
have
have
been
done.
done years ago in
Yeah.
the 100th episode. but-
We could have also years ago watched fucking 20 Full House episodes and reviewed those.
Yeah.
It does.
So here we are.
That is
talking
not what
about-
we're here for. But Michael asks and Michael receives.
talking
Thank
about
you for your
Ghost.
support, Michael. Fuck you for your support, Justin.
Thank you.
Michael, let's steal some drugs.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and talk about the main event and get into the back of the box.
What's on the back of the box?
All right, talking about Ghost from 1990. This is a PG-13 film that is 2 hours and 7 minutes long.
Yeah.
Holy
And Rob felt
shnikes.
every one of them in his penis.
In my butthole. So this is directed by Jerry Zucker.
That's the
stars-
Zuckers, man. That's so funny to me.
Yeah.
Like Zucker's famous for fucking Airplane and fucking Naked Gun
That's Zucker
and
fucker.
fucking Ghost. This was his like Oscar thing, like his big Oscar movie.
Oh, Zucker fucker. Starring
So
Patrick
this is
Swayze,
a classic. Yeah.
Demi Moore, Whoopi Goldberg. The synopsis is as follows. After a young man is murdered, his spirit stays behind to warn his lover of impending danger with the help of a reluctant psychic. That's it. So,
Those things are true.
Ghost, gentlemen, have you seen this before and would you recommend people check it out? Randy, why don't you kick us off? Randy? Justin, why don't you kick us off?
Okay, I have seen this before. I think I'm in the same boat as Bob as to where I've seen this once legit when I was probably like 4 or 5 years old. One of the women in my family, my aunt or grandmother or somebody was watching it at the time. So that's the only time I've seen this movie. It's got some infamous scenes. That like are just kind of well known. But other than that, it's been a long time. So would I recommend? This is a 90s classic. If you've never seen Ghost, you should check it out. Patrick Swayze classic. It's a really touching, horrifying story.
Is it spooky?
Of love and lost.
Love and Lost?
Of love and lost, not lost the television.
The show?
Love and Lost, the ABC hit series.
Yes,
Man,
Matthew
they have
Fox
to
is
go
nowhere
back.
near this movie.
they have to.
Hey,
Patrick
Randy.
Swayze has to go back.
Hey, I'm back. By the way.
Randy's back. Have you seen this movie? Would you recommend people check it out, bro?
I had not seen this movie, but much like Justin said, this is like the romance section equivalent of Deliverance, where it got like a lot of cultural impact. People will recognize anytime you're near a pottery. I always think about Community when I think about this movie, because there was an episode where they take pottery and what's his name? Buster from Arrested Development. His name's escaping me. Tony Hale. Tony Hale plays the teacher, and he's like, we only have one rule, and he's very hippy dippy or whatever. He's like, we only have one rule: nobody sing that fucking Righteous Brothers song. It's like his only rule is don't pretend, no ghosting. He has a sign that says no ghosting, and you aren't allowed to Yes. I guess I underestimated how disruptive that is, and when I can hear it. But
Careful what you wish for.
Yeah, I guess so. Monkey's paw situation. But yeah. Boy, that's not irritating in the least. But yeah, I would say I would recommend it. Certainly not to horror fans. It's not a horror. It's not a horror movie.
Whoa!
I hate. I'm not interested in discussing this. But
even
it
is
not
horror,
a horror
bro?
movie.
I know.
Horror is
but,
in the eye of the beholder, man.
Randy,
Whoa, bro.
especially coming from you. You're the one who hates the labels of what is.
I hate the
horror and what is
labels, but
not.
this is so cool. That's Airplane's not a drama either.
Whoa!
Whoa! Yeah, it is, bro. What's
Holy
up?
shit!
We're blurring
I
some
don't-
lines here, okay?
The line's not that blurry. I'm going to tell you up front. So this is not a horror movie, but I will say that it's a decent enough movie for its time, and it's certainly a cultural touchstone in the way, like I said, that Deliverance was. So, I mean, you could do worse with your time. The performances aren't bad. It's dated. It's a little predictable, but there are some kind of cool things. There are a couple of spooky moments. I'll give it that for sure. I will hand it that.
And
that
some cool
particular,
kills. Wouldn't you?
I'll give it a
agree?
participation. I'll give it a participation trophy for its one cool kill.
Cool kill.
And there you go. I don't know. That's
Yeah.
all I have to say about it, really.
Yeah.
It's going to be a long episode.
Bob,
short.
had you ever seen this movie before? Would you recommend?
I think I have seen at least parts of it before. I don't know that I've seen the whole thing, but there would be certain scenes that would pop up as I was watching it for the episode, and I was like, "Oh my god, I completely remember this!" But there were large swaths where I didn't really remember.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm sure somewhere along the line when I was a kid, it came on TV, on HBO or something. I watched parts of it, especially with my sisters or something. Would I recommend people check it out? Absolutely. Actually, yeah, I'd recommend people check this out. It's not a horror movie at all.
This is a watch and then go in
Whoa,
the hot
Bob.
tub with your boo.
Yeah.
Sort of movie. This is
And
not
make some pottery.
make
Yeah.
make a pottery kind of.
Did you watch it with Bex, Randy?
No, Bex refused to watch this movie. She was not interested
She
because
did.
she is a smart person.
But we all just recommended it.
Yeah, pottery and
I mean-
chill, dog.
Our recommendations don't mean a whole fucking lot to Becky. I'm going to tell you that.
Well,
She is her
Pottery
own
and
person,
chill.
and she does not give a shit about pottery.
Believe that. Yeah,
All
this is
right.
not a horror movie. I don't know why we're talking about it. Fucking Justin. But yeah, that's good, and I recommend you watch it. Check it out.
Michael, Rob, how are you gonna blame me?
This is 100%. your
Michael's a
fault.
conduit for your loathsome behavior.
Michael's a conduit.
He is the Whoopi
Oh.
Goldberg, but you're the Sam Wheat, you bastard.
You bastard.
Well, let's talk about it. Let's
Yep,
get into
I'm-
the damn thing.
Dropping that spoiler warning. Here we go.
Spoiler warning.
Spoiler warning.
Hang
Dude,
on, let's just start off with this. This movie has some cool kills, one,
Uh-huh.
One, a single
this-
cool kill.
and
One.
some gore. It's got a cooter. It's got a
Has
solid
some
cooter.
blood.
Huge,
Blood is
huge
not
cooter.
gore. I want to put. Yeah, there's a huge cooter. for
Right.
sure.
It's
Right,
got
But
actually
lots
I
of
think-
movies have
I
cooters.
think there's more than one cool kill, but we can get into that.
Mm,
And then it's
Go
got
on.
some spooky moments. Also, too, so many times some of Rob's favorite horror movies are horror comedy. Ha ha ha! I'm not scared, but it's so funny. Why can't you have?
Because it's comedy centered around horror tropes, dummy.
Why can't you blend? Why can't you blend and blur the lines between rom-com and horror? Why can't you do it?
Shaun of the Dead did.
Yeah, Shaun of the Dead.
They have fucking zombies in every inch of that movie. They don't spend
Every
like 5
inch.
minutes on horror elements. The whole
This
goddamn
movie's
movie's
about
horror.
ghosts.
This movie has a ghost in it that wants to make out with his wife.
More
That's
than
not
one.
spooky.
There's a spooky ghost in here.
There's a spooky ghost. How long is that scene, you think? 2 minutes? 2.5?
Hey, he's spooky.
Dude, I will
It's
say
not
the
justifying the unjustifiable. It's not
the
working.
subway ghost, which was
He was-
one of the things that I
Vincent's-
remembered. It was
Yeah.
fucking dope. I love that
Yeah.
character.
Yeah.
was
Yeah,
really
that
cool.
fucking what's his name, Vincent Chiavelli, who passed away also. But I've like watched this video about him a while ago, and he was like an interesting dude. He was in a bunch of movies for a long time. He's like one of those character actors you see in everything, and then he just decided to fucking go live in Italy and just make pasta for the rest of his life, and that's what he
That
did.
sounds
And that is the
dope.
coolest goddamn move I've ever heard in my life.
He
Yeah.
pulled an Aziz Ansari. He fucking-
Yeah, well, no, because Kaziz is still in the business. He just said fuck that, and he went and made pasta.
I respect it.
That's
I
dope.
like. I
too.
like some pasta too. I mean, I fucking Olive Garden. I fuck with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Endless
Olive
pasta.
Garden. That is the
And
bar
breadsticks.
for
I'm-
pasta.
R.I.P. your DMs, buddy. That's what I'm saying.
What do you think
Slide
about the
on in.
breadsticks, though, Bob?
Oh,
They're
the
unlimited
breadsticks.
as fuck.
And the soups. Have you guys had the soups?
That's probably
Anyway, we're not
appropriate for this movie.
We have moved into Olive Garden as the primary topic. Let's go and course correct a little.
Yeah, we're talking about ghosts.
So let's talk about the story a little bit. You got Shiboy, Patrick Swayze.
Who was
Um,
ripped? That dude.
yeah,
He was right off a Roadhouse after with this movie.
good ass shape, yo.
Yeah, and it's him and him and his girl and his
Demi
best
Moore.
bud. He's living the dream. Yeah, he's got his-
Carl, the best bud from hell.
he
That dude's
he-
a piece of shit.
hang
Yeah.
on. They buy this ball to start off the movie.
Yeah.
Him and his
Yeah.
girlfriend buy this baller ass apartment, and they're like renovating it, and they discover like this huge like boarded up space or whatever. And so yeah, they start off shirtless, just hammering down the old walls, ripped as fuck.
This is like this
It's-
movie. Actually, I was kind of distracted at the beginning of this movie because it almost seems like one of the dying gasps of like 80s culture. And this movie is just so
yeah,
fucking 80s.
absolutely.
Because Sam is like a financial investor. He's like every marker of like 80s success minus the cocaine is present in this character.
Dude,
except
It's
he's a
like the
good
things
dude.
that American Psycho like kind of makes fun of. or, like,
Exactly. I was going to say
commentates
this
on.
movie.
Yeah.
I am positive, and like I don't know. I'm not really positive, but in my mind, the connection between those two movies is so fucking strong. Those two stories. I
Yeah.
wouldn't be surprised if this movie was watched like dozens of times in preparation for filming that.
But you're
because it, like-
absolutely right. It like sends off the 80s and almost like kicks off the 90s. But
Yeah.
it's got that.
But they have a
feeling.
computer, so it's like not quite 80s.
His little buddy, the cooter, that dude is definitely doing piles of cocaine.
Oh,
Swayze,
yeah.
Oh yeah, well that's his whole
probably not,
that's his whole
but-
scheme.
Good
Yeah.
lord, yeah. So they work on like
So-
Wall Street, right? They're like,
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
they work
like
on Wall Street and they're
bankers.
good. They're successful.
Yeah.
He's married to an artist, but she's like a successful artist. And
Yeah.
like I don't know. It's like 20
She's
Well, they're not
80s
married.
prep school.
They're not married. They want to get married.
Oh, whatever. Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're talking about getting married, and like he gets to pretend to like Macbeth for every evening and shit, and then he gets to
He's
go
living
home and
the
be like,
dream.
"Whoa, look at this guy's Maserati," and the other guy's like, "Gotta still pay off my fucking Mustang." Like he's like, I'm such a fucking, I'm such a waste of life. I don't have a fucking Italian sports car that looks like shit.
Yeah.
But
So they get Batmanged and they go out to a night
They get
of a
Batmanged.
they
theater.
do.
and dude tries to rob him, and the robber Willie he knocks the girlfriend around. What's her name in this movie? I remember. He knocks her around, and Swayze isn't having that, so he
Molly.
he roughs him up
Molly,
a bit,
yeah.
but he shoots him. And this is a really cool scene. So there's a scene where like Swayze, he's wrestling with him, and then he like the gun goes off, and the Willie, the robber, he's running away, and like Swayze is chasing him. He's like, "Oh, I'm gonna get you, you son of a bitch," or something like that. And I thought it was a cool scene, and then he like turns around, but he's actually dead. So his like ghost is like running after.
Yeah, I mean,
I thought it was cool,
Yeah.
like a cool transition or whatever.
Yeah, it makes you do a
Because-
double take. You're like, whoa, wait, what?
Yeah, because then he like
Oh,
goes
I-
back.
I
He's
kinda
on
saw
his
it coming.
like he's on his regular clothes, but then he goes back and his like girlfriend is like holding him, and he's all like bloodied up, and he's like,
he's,
What I
dying.
thought was that she got shot because he's running, but you definitely hear a gunshot, and he turns around to like look back, and you're like, "Oh no, did she actually get shot?" And then
Yeah.
you realize that
Yeah.
he's a fucking ghost.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing is like I kind of
And
like
there's
I
no
wasn't
cell
really.
phones. Can't
There was
call
no
the
suspension
Popes.
of there was no suspension of disbelief for me. Where I was like, oh my god, he's dead, because the movie's fucking called Ghost, and
Well,
I know that
yeah.
Patrick Swayze is a goddamn
Spoilers.
ghost for most of the movie.
Yeah,
So I mean, to me, I was like, oh okay, so he's gonna turn around and yep,
yeah.
there he is.
So he's a ghost, and this movie does like some interesting things with like just general like ghost lore.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
I would say that it does set some internal logic for itself, which it does
Yeah.
adhere to. I'll give it
Come on,
that. And like
Bob.
it's not the coolest thing in the world, but it's
I'm
like
just
for
crusty.
purposes of the story,
mean-
it makes sense. In my mind though, it's like why does every fucking ghost out of all these dozens of fucking ghosts that we see even just in this movie and presumably thousands and thousands in the world, why don't they all just go around like punching their old enemies in the face? Why
Yeah,
don't they just,
absolutely.
like all you gotta do
Well,
is
he
get
has
real
to- he has
concentrated
a
on punching a dude in the
training
face? That's not that
montage.
hard. He does, but all, like,
Trains.
but the big training sequence, it amounts to, it's like they might as well have just played music and let him like slowly like Karate Kid it
Yeah,
instead,
they should have done
because
that.
like there's no secret to it. It's like you just got to concentrate. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, okay,
Hang on.
oh,
You got
everything
it.
in your belly, and then you can punch that guy right in his kisser, and
We're
that's it.
getting ahead of ourselves here.
Yeah, sorry.
I
We're
guess.
talking ghost lore. That's the biggest piece. Like ghosts have a tangible effect on the real world in this. It's not just that he talks to
Yeah.
Whoopi Goldberg.
Yeah,
He fucking can punch people. He can
can't-
have
well,
fights.
Yeah, that is
Swayze
that is
will not let
problematic.
death keep him from an action sequence.
That is problematic later on, but so he just hangs out with his girlfriend kind of all day and mopes around that he's dead, and she's moping that he's dead. But it turns out that he's at the house one day. She goes out, but he can't really leave. So ghosts kind of have like a limit, like it hurts them to like go through things, or like it affects.
Or no, I think he was just scared. Is my
Yeah, I think he
understanding.
just didn't know how to do it yet.
that-
And there's that sequence where he learns how to pass through a door, and he leans up against it and starts turning blue like the color of the door, which
Yeah.
I thought was kind of dumb.
Yeah, that's what because the first time it happens, he's actually in the hospital and somebody walks through him, and it does this
Yeah.
whole like CG sequence
I like
of
that.
like his like blood or whatever. Like
that was
he
pretty
could,
good for its day, man.
It was
give
almost
him
like
that.
he was becoming whatever like passed through him. So he like I don't know, like he was absorbing it or something. I don't know. It was weird.
Mhm.
So I don't know what the logic is there, but I don't know. But so he has to get through a door, but his girlfriend goes out on a walk and he can't like pass through the door yet, and he sees that the guy who killed him, the robber, comes into her house, and he's like going around, and then she comes back and he's like washing her undress, and he finds out that he has like an effect on the cat, so he's able to like kind of scare the cat.
He scared the cat into scratching him in the face, which he has like this dope ass scar
Yeah.
later on.
Yeah. So he runs out, so she's safe or whatever. So he's just kind of,
Yeah.
keeping an eye out on his girlfriend, doing
As you do when you're fucking
when you're a
dead.
ghost.
When you're a
creep-
ghost. And then and like
creeping.
I don't know like what just like curiosity or just desperation, he's prompted to go into, because he goes to Willie, the shooter. He goes to his apartment. He follows him to his apartment. He gets chased off a subway by Vincent Chiavelli, and then he like shows up at this dude's apartment. And the guy's like talking on the phone. Yeah, I'll go back later. And he's like, oh no, he's gonna like fucking rape and kill my would fiance or whatever.
Yeah.
And then so he's like desperate, and he sees the psychic reading sign or whatever, and he goes in and watches Whoopi Goldberg talking to some lady, and he's like, oh, you're just gonna grift this lady, which was fun. That was a fun scene for him. And then she's like, who's talking, and then she starts like freaking out because she's a fraud, but it turns out that, oh, just like my mother and grandmother before me, I actually do have a gift. It's just never presented itself or whatever.
Yeah.
Which is fine. Very lucky for him. Very fucking lucky for him. But at that point, Whoopi's kind of roped in, and she's freaked out. But you know,
So she can hear him, but she can't see
Yeah.
him.
Yeah, and
So
she tortures him by singing Henry VIII for hours into helping him
No,
out.
he tortures her.
That's what that's what I said.
You
I
said
thought
she
but-
tortures him.
You got it
So,
back.
but
Okay, well,
yeah,
he tortures her. He
yeah.
tortures her by singing Henry VIII for hours and hours
I
and hours
am.
she until she finally gives in and agrees to help him. Demi Moore isn't really having it at first. Then she starts to come around because she can tell Demi very private things about her and Sam's life.
Yeah.
And yeah, and then she's like, well, what happens next? I think does she go
So
to the
she
police next?
she tries to convince her that like he's alive, and he gives her information like, oh, this guy's name's Willie, he like lives here or whatever.
Look out
So
for this guy.
what she does is she goes to, so she's like, okay, I'm convinced. But she goes to their friend Carl, who is like the best friend, and she's like, oh, this woman came to me and she's telling me these things.
Carl comes to her because he's a piece of shit. He's
Well,
swooping
no,
in
not
her.
yet. Not yet. She actually does go to Carl because,
Does she?
yeah, and she's like, oh, this woman showed up at my house and she's saying these things like, shit, we need to go to the police together. And so what Carl does is he's in on it. So Carl is the one who hired Willie to kill. Well, actually, I think he just maybe paid him to rob them and it went wrong, maybe. So I think Carl kind of gets roped into it in a bad way.
No, I think he pays to kill him because he's
Does he?
like hacked into Swayze's accounts.
Okay. Yeah,
to
I just
pay
didn't
off
know if he needed that like
somebody.
code because
Yeah, he
what
needs
happens is they're like bankers.
He had the code, didn't he? He was given
Well,
the code.
no, because remember he shows
No,
up.
he
So
needed it.
he was given the code. They need these like passcodes to log into their accounts, and so what he's doing, Cooter Carl, is he's laundering money out of one of Swayze's accounts. And he gives him the code at the beginning, but then he goes into his office another time later and he's like, what are you doing? And he's like, I'm trying to figure out this account.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
too much money. And he's
I think
like,
that's why.
he's like, oh, did you? But he's like, oh, did you change the passcode? And he's like, yeah, I changed the passcode. And he wants, because he's got to get the passcode again.
Okay, I didn't hear that bit, but it's definitely partially that then, but it's also got to be partially that, you know, oh, he's gonna find out because he's digging
I
through the
thought about
accounts and
that
he won't
too,
let me touch
yeah,
it.
that's
Like he
true.
couldn't sweet talk his way into being like, oh, let me take care of it. No.
Yeah.
I want to take care of this. Thanks though, Carl. You really good guy. And then
My best friend.
yeah,
Rob.
fucking Brutus ass motherfucker.
A2 Judas.
If anybody was betrayed here, it was the two of us, Juice. You can't keep that shit to yourself.
Whoa, now.
We are a horror movie podcast.
Is
and
that the
we
common
are several.
consensus?
I mean, raise your hand.
That I'm the betrayer.
Yeah.
I think everyone listening right now is like,
You're off
"Fuck
the island."
Justin."
All
Yeah.
right, we'll see.
Except for Michael. who we
But so what happened? Oh, so Carl convinces her not to believe it, I guess.
kind of, yeah. Like, well, he kind of, but she goes to the police anyway, I think. And then the police show her not a rap sheet on this Willie guy, but they show her a rap sheet on Whoopi Goldberg's character, Oda
Yeah.
Mae.
She's
And
made
she's like, okay, well,
fake
she's a con person.
IDs,
Yeah. She has a rap sheet, and so that convinces her, okay, well, this person's just trying to scam me or whatever. It's yeah. I
Dude,
don't know.
Whoopi Goldberg gets the shit end of the stick in this movie, dude. Like
she really
legit.
does, dude.
She's trying,
Dude,
like, at
she-
first,
whoa.
like, she's surprised. Like, okay, yeah, she's tricking people. But it's like, for like $20 a pop or something, she's like,
Yeah.
oh, I'll talk to your dead, like, husband
Which
or whatever. That's okay.
Arguably still providing a service because you're giving people peace of mind. That's the company line anyway.
That's
I'm
the worst
sure.
thing she does in this movie. But then, okay, she stumbles into Patrick Swayze, and he like tortures her to help her. So to help him. So she's like, okay, I'll help him. So she does it, and then she's like, okay, I'm peace out. I'm out of here. Then because of it, it like triggers this
Yeah.
thing where like all the ghosts find out, like all the ghosts that are out there find out that she can do this, and so then they just like bother the shit out of her like 24/7.
Well, and fucking Carl finds out about her through Demi, and
Yeah.
then Willie he
tries
sends
to have her
Willie off to
killed.
murder her. So
Yeah.
her and her like sisters or friends, whoever those ladies were.
Yeah. And then also she's given a chance where like Patrick Swayze finally finds out that like Carl's in on it. And so he steals his money. So like Carl has this thing where he's going to get this. So he's helping this person like launder this money like out of the country or something. And he's going to get a cut of it. But Patrick Swayze like knows all the details because he's Ghost and he gets by on him. So he steals all his money. And so at one point, it seems like Whoopi Goldberg, yeah, she's going to get like millions for helping Patrick Swayze out. But he like convinces her to like give it away to charity because it's not your money.
No,
And
well,
they're going to find you. But they
no,
find
they
her
definitely
anyways.
would, though. Well, no, it's not even like at that point. It's not Willie. It's like the government would find you. Like you can't cash a $4 million check without raising an eyebrow.
And also, there's no way that she
Especially with
would've
a fake
gotten
name.
that money, because like she walks into the bank and Swayze's like telling her what to do, and she fills out the signature card and she writes
And
down.
she's acting ridiculous.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she writes down whoever's name is actually on the account, which I don't remember, and they ask
Rita,
for a photo ID,
Rita
which
Skeeter.
she
Miller.
doesn't have Rita's actual ID, so I assume she just passes them her
She
IDs.
signed her own fucking name.
So
The first
the
No,
name-
she made fake IDs. Remember, that was
She-
part of her
she
rap
did.
sheet. That was part of her
Oh,
rap
okay.
sheet. Yeah.
No, she
and
made a
he-
fake
So-
ID
Yeah.
for sure.
Okay, got you. I was gonna say that was nonsensical, but okay.
No,
Yeah,
she
that was
definitely made
part
a
of
fake
her
ID, but she
background,
did
yeah.
sign her actual name. She's like, I signed the wrong name. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, well, we're talking about $4 million, so
You just wrote somebody
police.
else's name. Yeah.
guard,
Also, people like
eyebrow raised.
yeah, people would kind of know what you look like. Like you couldn't just be a completely different looking person and like take $4
Well, the
million.
person's not real. The person's not real.
Right. But also, like she
Yeah,
gives it to
so
people,
Carl's
these
on the
nuns that were right
phone.
outside.
The bank.
She gives it to nuns that are right outside. So, like,
Yeah.
if anybody's investigating the missing $4 million, which they will, they're going to find. Oh, these nuns are like, oh, here's a public human interest story where somebody donated $4 million to the church.
But here,
Huh,
no, but
that was
here
right
was the
outside
whole.
the fucking bank.
Here was the whole thing around it. I don't think she would have got caught by the government or necessarily because the way they set up is Carl and them all set it up to be like legit, but none of these people like that. They was like they're doing something illegal, but they're doing it in a well enough way so they won't get caught. So all they're doing is they're taking it. So if like Swayze hadn't been a ghost, then Carl would have just walked away rich or whatever. And all these people involved in it would have been rich. So they've already handled like the legal aspect of it. It's just they put it under a fake name. Yeah, they put it under a fake name, this Rita person, and the only person who knows about it is Swayze because he's a fucking ghost. So he's able to like get that money out of there. And so I think she would have been. I think he was talking about like Willie would have found her.
I don't know, man, because the whole scam is he's laundering money using a dead man's account for starters, but also like if he doesn't provide that money to the people, like he's gonna get killed. So like that's to me is like, yeah, he's gonna come after Whoopi probably if he can, but like you can't use that kind like you can't go transacting $4 million in a cashier's check without somebody checking into who you are or having video of you or whatever. Like,
Yeah,
it just doesn't work that way. Somebody's gonna.
For
I mean, we're
sure.
talking logic of fucking a romance movie. At this point. So,
fucking
I mean, but nevertheless, she got the shit into the stick overall. Oh, like because she didn't ask for any of this shit. Also, this movie, like, white people fucking suck in this movie. Like, they are all just running games on people. Or otherwise, just like have the dopest, most unrealistic apartments and cars and shit in the world.
It was the 80s. Everybody
Yeah, I
was
know.
hopped up on cocaine, you know.
And meanwhile, the only people of color in this movie are Whoopi, who's like great or whatever, but she's shat on, and then fucking Willie, who is a
He's Puerto
murderer
Rican.
with a capital murder. So, I don't know. I don't know. It was fucking weird. It's just like, oh, the proletariat will find me. That's like Sam's whole thing is like, whenever I get something good, I'm scared I'm going to lose it. Dude, you are the richest motherfucker in New York, as far as I can tell. Like, you got to be afraid you're going to lose it because everybody wants the richest guy in New York dead. Like nobody's supporting your ass. So, the proletariat is trying to get by. I don't know. Just trying to sneak under the radar, you know? I'm just afraid that somebody's going to uprise and take all my shit.
So Patrick Swayze also finds another
Anyway.
ghost who is like a fucked up ghost. He's more of a poltergeist, if you will.
Vincent Chiavelli, is that who you're talking about?
I won't.
The subway
Yeah.
ghost?
If you will.
So he's like, I think he's just mentally like, he's got problems, which is probably has to do with him being homeless. And the
His
way
problem is he's a
in the
fucking
80s.
ghost.
Yeah, that's a big problem.
But he
I mean, he doesn't seem to
he can affect the world around him in that he can like
break glass and shit.
break glass and shit. Yeah, not like anything too crazy. So he teaches Patrick Swayze how to do it.
Mhm.
because Patrick Swayze needs to protect his girlfriend. So yeah,
Yeah.
later as a ghost, Patrick Swayze beats up on some bitches.
Yeah, dude, just
Yep.
going around whole hog punching and throwing shit on people and
Yeah.
just whatever you fucking want to do. He might as well be alive at that point.
Yep, and the only way that the guy gets around it, he's beating the shit out of Carl at one point, is Carl
Mhm.
threatens to kill the girlfriend, Molly. So that's a good way around it. I mean,
I mean, what?
that's like a good
do you
way
mean?
around getting beat up by a ghost. It's like if a ghost can beat you up, how are you gonna get around that? It's like, like kill your girlfriend. It's like,
Okay,
pretty-
yeah, very clever of Carl to threaten a woman with a gun.
well, I'm just saying, like it almost seems
Gotta
like
do
they like
something.
wrote themselves into a corner. It's like, well, if Patrick Swayze
Yeah.
can just beat the shit out of people, like
Well,
what's the harm?
They
or
didn't know. They
whatever?
did so well. They towed this line so perfectly because okay, so all this happens. Willie, he basically like haunts Willie into accidentally killing himself in a car accident, and Willie gets
Yeah.
dragged to hell. In what definitely the sickest part of the movie to me was watching him get dragged to hell by a bunch of shadow people. That was
Yeah,
cool.
that was cool.
I like
Yeah.
that. But then so then it's like the final showdown between Whoopi and Sam. They get Demi to believe in him again, and they're sitting there like, okay, the cops should be here any minute or whatever. And then Carl shows up, fucking evil ass Carl, and they have a fucking fist fight, and Carl holds Demi up with a gun, but Sam manages to like knock his face in so he can't shoot the gun somehow. And then they have a fucking fist fight as ghost versus man. And but all this happened. He's throwing shit on Carl. He he threw like a scaffolding down on the guy, all sorts of shit that could have definitely killed him.
Yeah.
But he didn't kill him. He didn't. Fucking Carl
Yeah.
swings like a what is that? Like what is that? Hook?
Like a hook, yeah. Like a
Yeah,
hook
that they were
thing.
using to pull up artwork through the window. I forget what that shit called. A lever and pulley system. He swings it at what he assumes is the ghost, and Sam just sort of watches it go and watches it swing back and break some glass just over Carl's body, and it guillotines his ass. And then they got two ghosts. He gets dragged to hell. And it's like, man, they just couldn't go all the way. Like, this is a ghost who is
Yeah.
watching a guy hold his fiance up with a gun after killing him and stealing ruining his life and killing him and almost ruining his fiance's life, but still he's definitely out for revenge. But he's not going to kill him because he's got to go to
keep
heaven at the end.
Swayze pure.
He's got to do heaven. Yeah, you got to
keep him pure, man.
Gotta
He's too
do
good a
heaven.
guy, and he's even looks sad after he just watches it happen, and then he just kind of looks sad, and he's like, "Oh, Carl."
Well,
And Carl's
because his
"Oh, no,
friend
I'm a
Carl
ghost."
gets dragged to hell too.
Yeah, no, I know, but before he gets dragged to hell, he watches him die, and then Carl's a ghost, and he's like, "Oh, what happened?" And he's like, "Oh, Carl," and he's sad for Carl. It's like, motherfucker, why the sudden change of heart? Like, no, this guy he wronged the fuck out of you. The only reason for that to work that way is so you couldn't question him going to heaven at the end.
It was his best friend. When Rob betrays us, I'm sure we'll feel sad.
When I murder you guys and then try
our
and
vast
bone your
fortunes.
fiancés or whatever. Yeah, it's for your millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're just coming for my Maserati. I know you. Just too hard
Let me
up for
get
money
that.
after all your Blu-rays.
Let me get that.
Yeah. Bob feeding that addiction.
I'm envious of your
Gotta chase that
Yaris.
dragon.
So yeah, I mean, there's a couple key scenes we didn't focus in on, but that's like the general plot.
Yeah,
This-
we focused on the horror scenes, so that's
Yeah,
right.
yeah, that's kind of the horror aspects of it. There's this
Dude.
like infamous like sexy scene where that we talk about. They play that song. What is it, Randy? You
The
know
Righteous
song.
Brothers song?
Yeah, Righteous Brothers. Bob.
Unchained Melody.
Gag me with a broom.
Somebody hit the wrong bump.
That was in the bomb
it.
box. Like,
Found it.
That Righteous Brothers scene actually was I remember that scene. It was it's very romantic on all that shit. But I thought in my mind, having not seen this movie, that would definitely come back later, and the song did. But I thought that she would be making pottery, and he would be beside her, and she would feel his presence, and they would have
I thought so too.
pottery sex
yeah,
when he's a
I thought
ghost.
so. I thought so too. But this scene, I don't know. Like, it's like they're mud. I don't know. Maybe women find it
They're
like, super
mud.
sexy. They're just like playing in this like mud, and it's also like I was just like, oh, this is kind of like wash your hands or something. Like, it's
Wash your hands. Well, that's one thing I did notice though. Like in that scene where they do that, like right after they're like, oh, they're going. It's the big like, oh yeah, it's too much. Time to fuck moment.
Yeah, she's
It's
making
that moment,
Potter,
and
yeah.
and their hands are like 99% cleaner than they were a second
That's
ago.
true. Yeah.
TTF. The TTF.
That's movie
moment.
magic.
Time
Cleaning your
to
hands for
fuck.
sex.
Yeah, I guess it's
The
just
time-
Swayze. Swayze is ripped as fuck in this movie.
What
Yeah, he's
about that
Roadhouse.
scene? That scene
He just
where,
ripped out throats in Roadhouse like an hour before this
and
movie.
he's rich. He's the perfect man for a
What about
rich
this-
and he's shallow
scene
woman.
with Whoopi Goldberg, where she comes over and she's like, "Oh, okay, fine. You could use my body," and then Swayze,
That's
like,
we need to talk about
possesses-
that.
Yeah,
Swayze possesses her body, and it's so that like Demi Moore and Swayze can like have human contact, like they can feel each other again. But in reality, like they show you her and Patrick Swayze
I
dancing.
know, yeah.
But in
They
reality,
didn't go
it's
as far as to make them
actually-
kiss.
It's Whoopi Goldberg and Demi Moore just like getting
Yeah.
kind of down on each other, start to scissor
How
and
many
whatnot.
lesbian relationships were started because of this movie? You think?
Yeah,
I
I
don't
thought
know,
the
you-
same thing, and
Wid-
I actually
grieving
thought,
widowers and psychic relationships.
I thought they would kiss, or like I don't know, and I was just like, oh, but like the logic in my brain as the like scene was unfolding, and I thought that they would kiss. I was like, holy shit! Like because they show it, it's
Yeah.
Patrick Swayze, so of course they're
Yeah.
not show. But I was
They
like,
just, like-
this
they're
is
like,
Whoopi
yeah, don't worry about
Goldberg. Yeah.
And here's the other thing about that is like the whole thing is he's like, I just wish I could touch you one more time. It's like, bitch, you've been punching people in the face all goddamn day.
It's true. That's true.
Like, can you only do violent things as a
He
ghost?
could pull up some yabos if he wanted to.
I mean, he could like caress
We've
a
all
cheek
seen
for a
the
minute.
entity.
Oh no, that's a level I don't want to get to. It.
We've
Yeah,
seen
that's the
it.
fucked up.
It's too
sequel to
horror for
Ghost.
this nice movie.
Yeah. So
What if they made
yeah.
like a Roadhouse Ghost mashup?
What if she had a
sequel
ghost
and
baby?
Called it, well, they called it Ghost House. I
They
want to
have-
see that.
Yeah.
All right, I want to see a movie. I want to see a movie where Ghost Swayze concentrates all his energy into his wiener, and they have sex, and then Casper the Friendly Ghost is her child.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah, Ghost Baby.
Into his wiener.
Yeah, well, you got to focus. You got to
his ghost
focus.
wiener.
Vincent taught us that.
Yeah.
Best character of the movie is fucking Subway Ghost.
Definitely.
Easily.
Well, yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. Is there anything else to fucking talk about this movie in the context of a fucking horror podcast?
You like trains?
So what was there? You got dragged to hell. That was pretty cool. People getting dragged to hell. The kill with Carl. That was good. And then the spooky ghost on the train. That was pretty spooky.
I didn't find him
Yeah.
terribly spooky, but I found him like interesting. I was like, oh, this guy's, and he turned out to be
Yeah.
fucking Yoda.
There's
Yeah.
another kind of
Angry
big.
Yoda.
There's a big scene. It's not really like horror, I guess, but like the whole Penny sliding up the door scene. That was pretty like memorable. I think.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I did not enjoy that. I was like, this.
Really?
Yeah, it was like.
Ray,
He
I
just
I was-
they should have kept it where he was just pushing it across the floor. Like
Yeah,
to
I
hold
agree,
it
like,
in the air
that's
where
all-
it was floating.
to
It's like,
float it into her hand. To me, it's like this is like fucking Penn and Teller shit. Like I don't.
yeah, that was
This
too much.
feels like it was another one of those moments where I was like, this is like they're playing too hard with the ghost thing. It's like
Yeah.
if ghosts could really do this, if ghosts existed and could do these things, you'd be there'd be shit flying all over New York all day long.
I mean, that happens a lot in ghost movies, and also he is laying people out. Like, let him float a penny for a few feet. Or what. Like, I
That's
buy
true.
into it.
Also, they went a little too ham on it too because, and maybe they limit it because like Whoopi Goldberg is a medium, but when you go to the scene where all the ghosts are showing up to like Whoopi's house, the first thing where they introduce that it's even possible to like possess a human being or whatever, it's just some random ghost decides to jump into
Yeah.
Whoopi Goldberg's, but she doesn't give him permission or
Slides in.
anything. He just like jumps in.
And the
she,
only
like-
consequence is he's a little worn out afterwards.
And then he's like tired. Yeah, it's like every
Consent.
ghost like
Yeah.
would just take
people would just
over
be like walking
anybody's
around like
body.
fucking like psychopaths all day long.
You hear that, ghost?
Like the ghost of Andrew Carnegie is out there trying to murder hookers or some shit.
Fucking wait for the consent, ghost.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait
Yeah, I
for the
don't.
consent.
You gotta have it. You gotta have the consent. Consensual possessions. That's what I'm all about here on Straight Chillings Podcast.
Enthusiastic consent
Right.
for possessions.
Get in me. Something like that. I
Use
don't
my
know.
body.
Well, yeah. Anything else we need to talk about before we rate this thing?
No.
Let's rate it, Bob.
Ow. All right, let's do this. Randy, why don't you kick us off out of 5? How you feel about Ghost?
Randy.
I mean, I'm going to gauge this movie as I gauge other movies. Like, again, the label to me, if we're going to review it, I'm going to review it just as a movie because I could give a shit about the labels, really. So I'm going to review it on the two spectrums that make the most sense to me, what like the amount of enjoyment I got out of it, the most amount of entertainment value there is, and then the amount of substance there is to the story. And I think that the former, the entertainment value, is pretty strong. Like it's well crafted. Like Swayze's fun to watch, do his shit. Like Whoopi's funny. You know, they do all their shit pretty well, and I enjoy that. In terms of like substance, there's not a whole lot in this movie that I particularly love. Like substantive, it just feels very tropey in a lot of ways, and then very like silly in others. And it's it's kind of a silly romance movie, and that's all well and good. It is what it set out to be. So I mean, for me, it only really does well, notably well in the entertainment category. So for me, that puts it middling. I would put it at 2.5.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like it just doesn't, like when I say that it's middling, like it's entertaining, but it's not something I care to watch again. It's not something that's like, it's not essential to me. I think that it's like culturally significant, and like it's the way I felt about Deliverance, except I really enjoyed Deliverance a lot. I thought that it had a lot to say, and I thought that it was like just better acted in general and had like a stronger story. So this movie lacks a couple of those things. So for me, the cultural element is nice. The entertainment value is pretty good. The substance is pretty lacking for me.
Yeah.
And so I would put it at a 2.5. Yeah.
All right. Juice, what about you out of 5?
Yeah, I mean, this is like a cultural kind of icon. It's cheesy, but it's charming. All the people, like the writing is a little ridiculous, and like some of the situations are like ridiculous. But everybody like does a pretty solid job as far as like the acting goes. Like you want to hate that dude Carl. He's a huge piece of shit. Swayze, they keep him pure. You can't help but love him, and he does a good job. Whoopi Goldberg is charming as shit. It's got some interesting elements. Some of them definitely like fall flat. Like, oh, he's becoming the Door or something. I was like, I don't understand, and they don't really like flesh that out. The dude on the train was cool. I liked how they went a little dark with it. Like when the people are getting dragged to hell, I wanted a little bit more, honestly, because like the shadows just become like these demons and drag people away. So that like the idea was cool, but them like floating through the air as they like kind of fade out, like this like definitely suffers from its time as far as like effects go. The ending scene is like Patrick Swayze like walking into heaven. He's just like looking around, like,
and there's just like these ghostly white people out there.
Yeah, they just like doesn't look very good. And it is just like cheesy as shit, of course, but I don't know. It's charming. It's got its appeals. So I don't know if I ever want to watch this movie again. I wouldn't be against it. Let's say that. Like I wouldn't be like refused to watch it again. But I'm kind of with Randy. I'll give it a 2.5 as well.
2.5 from
Got our bumping
Justin.
soundtrack, huh, boys?
Yeah, I would say that Righteous Brothers song adds like a significant level of enjoyment for me because I
Yeah.
do like that song a lot.
Yeah.
Although the orchestrated version at the end is a little much, I would say.
Yeah.
Nonsense.
It's a little 80s.
I think I'm going to come in a little bit higher than you guys with a perfect 5-star, actually.
Whoa, a little bit
Can't take
higher.
it back. Can't take it back.
Holy
That
shit,
was a joke.
Bob.
That was
Can't
a
take
joke.
it back, Bob.
Sorry. No, but yeah, a little bit higher. I think I'm going to give it a 3.
Okay.
Like actually give it a 3.
I heard 5.
I would have been shocked that you got. I'm shocked that you're giving it a 3, but you're telling me telling me 5. I don't know.
No, I think it's a pretty solid like love story. It's a solid romance, and it's got obviously some horror elements that are in there. Some of them are played a little bit better than others. Some of them are like kind of fucking goofy. Of course, it's just like probably part of it being filmed in like 1989 or whenever it was actually made, early 90. Like the fact that Whoopi Goldberg really would be just like dancing with Demi Moore it's kind of hilarious, really. I don't know. The performances are pretty strong. Poor Demi Moore is just weeping for like a solid hour and a half of this 2-hour runtime. She just constantly. I feel kind of bad for her. But she does a good time. She does a good time. She does a good job.
She does a really good time in this movie.
Swayze. He just kind of is. He's just as consistent, I guess.
I don't know, man. He didn't rip out a single throat in this movie.
Yeah, that's true. He's all jacked up, ready to go, ready to kick some ass. Whoopi Goldberg is probably my favorite part, actually. Her and the subway ghost. I
Vincent
fucking love
Chiavelli,
that
man.
character.
Oof.
I love that
Yeah.
character.
That's definitely the spooky.
That's the spooky. And the penny scene. Forget you guys. I thought that was dope. I like that a lot. I don't know. It's good. It's good for what it is. Which is
any woman or man who
reviewing.
Anybody who wants to seduce Rob just needs to learn basic parlor
Magic.
tricks to have a floating penny go to his underwear or whatever, and he'll be yours.
Do you think this is the sexiest movie we've ever covered, boys?
No,
I'm all boned up over here.
It's definitely not the sexiest movie. I don't know what
We
that
reviewed
would
The
be.
Exorcist.
The Sexorcist.
Somebody did, not us, Randy. Somebody reviewed The Exorcist.
Oh, whatever. That's going to put our
Uh-huh.
aggregate at a 3.7 for Ghost, which seems shockingly high.
It
to
should not be
totally
no,
honest.
2.7,
Oh.
Bob. Quick math.
2.7.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
We ain't approaching 4 on this bitch.
Nope. 2.7. Bob.
Solid 9.0 on Ghost.
Bob's
2.7.
5-star. You heard
Yep.
it here first, people.
Uh,
Before the
5-star
real
for
score.
Ghost.
You heard it first.
doing too many things at once. All right, let's go ahead and get into our Rotten Tomatoes segment here and see what the critics and users think of Ghost.
Certified fresh to death.
Okay, I can time when I speak properly because I can actually hear the bump. All right, let's get into our Rotten Tomatoes segment. Boys, we're going to go around the table. You're going to try to guess first the critic score on Rotten Tomatoes. We have a total count of 66 critics who reviewed Ghost. So, Randy, why don't you kick us off? What do the critics think of Ghost? This poster.
I'm going to go 85.
85. Okay. Rob, what do you think?
I don't know, man. Maybe, God, it's hard, actually. 90. I'll just go 90.
Yeah, going higher. You're wrong, Bob. It's lower than that. It is certified fresh, though. It is certified fresh. 74%, which honestly is a little surprising to me, too. Just given like the cultural significance of this movie and the way people talk about it. I think this poster is like more sexy than anything in this movie. It's like going full ham, dude.
Just ghost dick everywhere.
Also, Ghost has this like drop shadow effect on it, and it's just wild. It's pretty funny. So yeah, Ghost. The critic consensus is Ghost offers viewers a poignant romance while blending elements of comedy, horror, and mystery, all adding up to one of the more endearing watchable hits of its era. Yeah, sorry, I gotta like read sideways while I talk into the mic.
It's so watchable.
Yeah, it's so watchable. And so yeah, certified fresh on Ghost. Let's hop into the audience score. Man, these user ratings are high. 469,000 boys.
Whoa, that's the comedy number plus 400.
400,000.
400,000.
Oh, 400,000. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Yo,
So-
what's up?
Let's go around the table. Who started first last time? Randy. So
It's my
Rob,
turn.
Rob, you go first. What do you think the oozes think of Ghost?
Let me take that 6.9.
damn it.
6969, huh? All right. Randy, what do you think?
I feel like it might be pretty similar to the critics on this because it's a crowd pleaser. 75.
75. Randy's gonna sweep the board this week. It is higher than the critic consensus. It is 80%. The ladies came out in droves to
Damn.
Assumptions are being made.
to review our boy Sways. So yeah, this movie is fresh all around. Good job,
All right.
Randy. Good job.
Thanks. I'm really in tune with the fans of Ghost.
Is there any trivia you want to talk about, Randy?
I got a little triv. I got some triv for you.
Oh shit, let's do it.
It's totally time for trivia.
I could go a few. I could go a few triv.
Give me that triv.
So here's an interesting horror correlation. Bruce Willis was offered the role as Sam, but he turned it down because he did not think a movie would work with the main character being dead for most of the movie.
Shaboy
Irony.
Spruce.
Yeah.
Shaboy.
Spruce Willis.
Went on to become a huge success. He referred to himself.
Oh,
Night-
Randy, you're ghosting. Randy's a ghost.
Movie.
Yeah.
Ghosting?
You're ghosting. Yeah. We didn't hear what you said about Spruce Willis. One more time.
Jesus, am I back?
Yeah.
I think
I
yeah, I
back?
think so. Yeah.
Okay, great. So Spruce Willis said he was a knucklehead for saying no to this movie. 9 years later, he said yes to playing another main character who was dead for most of the movie but doesn't know it. It's called The Sixth Sense. Spoiler alert. 1999, which also went on to become a huge success. So he got to be dead anyway. Congrats to Bruce Willis for being a
It'll
dead guy.
never work. He learned. Hey, you know what though? Spruce Willis learned his lesson and came back stronger than ever.
I don't know. I can't beat up guys when I'm dead. What am I going to do?
Yeah,
No
he didn't know
movie
there
can
was
be.
a ghost fight scene.
Who am I going to punch if I got to be dead?
I don't know. Would
Um,
this movie work with Spruce Willis? Do you think?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Does any movie except for Die Hard?
Well,
Does he-
Um,
You ever seen Cop Out? That movie works.
This was around the time. This is around the time of like moonlighting and shit. So he was like charming, affable, fucking leading man guy.
he's
at
not
this
like as
time.
endearing as Patrick.
No,
Like,
he's-
one of the
he's
things
not.
like they make
He's
him
more
like
gruff.
Yeah, he's more
Yeah.
gruff. I don't think it would be as like.
He works better as a gruff like New York police cop.
Yeah,
police
I
cop.
agree.
But okay, moving on. Molly tells Sam that he leads a charmed life. This is a line from William Shakespeare's Macbeth, and Macbeth also claimed to lead a charmed life, meaning that he cannot be killed. Immediately after making this claim, however, he is killed after seeing a production of
teach you.
Macbeth. This is right after seeing Macbeth, so whatever. For the Shakespeare fans in the
The
audience,
jinx is real.
it is the Curse of the Bambino, Macbeth style. The role of Oda Mae Brown was not written with Whoopi Goldberg in mind, but Patrick Swayze, an admirer of hers, convinced the producers that she would be right for the part.
Smart man.
He really wanted to hear Whoopi say, "You can use my body." That's my theory.
Nailed it.
Swayze also said that the pottery scene was the sexiest thing he'd ever done on film.
Really? I just
Doubt
after
that.
Dirty Dancing.
Have you seen Dirty Dancing?
Actually, I don't know if I have.
Yeah, it's not as
No,
sexual. I mean, it's
it's not.
sexy.
I guess I just
but
from the name,
as far as I can recall, I don't believe anybody gets boned up in that movie.
I just didn't find it that like they're like making pottery.
It's romantic. Like
Yeah,
it's a romantic moment,
Yeah.
but sexy and romance are not always the
And
same thing.
mainly the song makes it. Like if it was
Yeah.
just, I want to cut like the song out.
I want
and
to put,
just, like,
put
the
fucking
main-
Tiny Tim.
There you
I want to
go.
put Tiny Tim in that scene.
There you go. Tiptoe through the
Having a
tulips and see how sexy it is.
Having a wonderful time. Me. That's the song. I'm gonna recut that now. That's
Do
that's
it,
gonna
Randy.
happen.
You will be a
Um,
huge internet success.
That'll do it. Finally put me over the top. Later, losers.
Remember Shaboy when you make it to the top, Randy.
I'm not going to do that, but thank you for your consideration.
Please remember me, or I'll betray you and have you murdered.
Oh shit, Carl!
I am the one.
The horrific sounds made by the Dark Shadow people are really the sounds of babies' cries played at extremely slow speeds and backwards. That's grim as fuck to me.
That is, but that's like smart.
Yeah, I mean that sound is like
horrifying.
hardwired into people's minds to trouble you. So
It's a true horror moment, right, Bob?
it's a true horror choice, I would say. The role of Molly Jensen went to Demi Moore largely in part because Moore could cry out of either eye on cue.
That's
what the
just
fuck?
weird.
Just weeping.
What
Who
does
cries
that
out
mean?
of one eye anyways?
Hold on. You wanted left? Hold on.
Yeah, like who?
Just
I've
suck it
never
back in.
Even seen that in like real life. It's like you cry.
Did she have to get Forrest Whitaker eye to do that? Have to contort. All right. When passing through solid objects, ghosts appear to absorb some of the material through which they are going. This is what you were talking about earlier about the door. Jerry Zucker had some difficulty explaining what he wanted this effect to look like, and finally he illustrated it by dipping a napkin into coffee. So that's what he was thinking about that, I guess.
But why? Like why? So what happens? You just become a door?
I don't know. It's just interacting with the
stay
real.
there?
No, I don't think so. I think it's just like
Oh, I'm a door.
because you're not real. Like you just sort of like it becomes. I don't know. I don't fucking know. Why am I trying to
don't you
explain
sink
this
into the
shit?
floor then? Why don't you sink into the floor?
I don't know. Why does he hit his head at one point in the movie? That doesn't make any fucking sense.
Does he?
He slides through. Yeah, like the subway ghost pushes him down, and he's like flying backwards like Godzilla on his tail.
Oh,
and then he like slides through the door, but he hits the other door with his head. And he's like, my head. It's like
that's
fucking.
right. I don't know.
Why? Why does that happen?
That's a good question.
Why doesn't he fall through the train? Don't know. Don't care. Luis Guzman was considered for the role of Willie Lopez. It was revealed in a documentary focused on character actors that he's frequently stopped by fans of that movie who think that he's the actor who played Sam's killer. People ask him why he killed Patrick Swayze, and he always replies that Rick Aviles was the actor in question, the one who did it. And this interests me because it's one thing to be considered for that role, but it's another thing to he doesn't look like that guy at all to me.
No.
Guzman is a distinctive looking dude. I don't think he looks
People
like
are
a lot of
racist, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, that's big fans of Ghost, probably. Like this movie is very, very much in their favor. Let's see. Paul Hogan. This is so fucking weird. Paul Hogan was offered but passed on the role of Sam Wheat because he felt it wasn't funny. However, Paul Hogan offered Patrick Swayze the role of Steve Gardner in his supernatural comedy Almost an Angel, but Swayze turned it down to do this film. So, fucking Crocodile Goddamn Dundee might have been the lead of this movie. What the fuck are we supposed?
That's a different movie.
That is insane.
Yeah.
Why? I don't understand why anybody would consider the fucking Crocodile Dundee as a leading man of a fucking romance movie. That is insane.
That's a ghost.
Yeah. That's not a ghost. This is a ghost. Apparently, that guy's a real piece of shit too. I've heard. But anyway,
well,
and also he's not funny. Well, neither is fucking Crocodile Dundee in L.A. I'll tell you that.
Burn.
So
damn, Randy.
I have a real thing about hating Paul Hogan. Apparently, I'm learning things about myself here. Jerry Zucker did not want to focus on Carl with his shirt off, so he filmed a lot of close-ups. Hey, we have that in common, Jerry.
Carl, when he intentionally spills the coffee on his shirt and takes it off, what a piece of shit!
Oh yeah, we didn't really talk about that.
Ever.
Yeah,
that's the cooter conversation for sure.
Yeah.
And then this is our last bit that I'm going to cover. This is the most 90s piece of trivia of all time. This is the most rented video cassette of 1991.
Hey.
Nice.
Cultural milestone, people. People were blockbusting the fuck out of this movie.
Cultural.
All right, that's all.
Cool. I guess it's time to go hunting.
Cooter of the week.
We're talking cooters. Talking cooters of the week. Justin, For our first-time listeners, well, first off, I'd like to apologize. Second off, why don't you tell them what a cooter is?
Dude, numbers are about to bump. So cooters are a character type. We have been judging them on 4 points. I'm strongly considering adding that 5th point, though, that Randy brought up, but we'll talk about that in a second. So there are 4 main points that we're talking about are sexual deviancy. Is the character a sexual deviant? Manipulation, attire, and
It's 4. You just,
did I do 4?
I think so.
Sexual deviancy, manipulation. Oh, smug arrogance. I missed smug arrogance.
Smug arrogance. Oh,
That's
okay.
high.
You had 4 fingers out, and I wasn't paying attention. So.
That's the whole, but the people can't see the 4 fingers.
Well,
And the smug arrogance. So, Randy has brought up in the past too. We've mentioned just being overall just kind of shitty, but that's too broad. Usually, a cooter is shitty in some capacity based on those points. But how pathetic are you? I feel like that's pretty strong as well. Patheticness.
hey, if we need to amend the profile, we can do it. We have the
might
power.
need to. Let us know. We've had some hunters hunting with us for a while. So cooter hunters of the Straight Chilling crew, let us know what you think. Do you
The
think we should-
Weebelows of the Cooter Hunter clan.
Yeah, should we add patheticness, like overall patheticness, to make it a 5-point star? You know, as
5 point.
yeah.
Oh, all for Satan.
A pentagram.
I
Yeah.
know. That might be
All
the
in the
sign
name
right
of
there.
Satan.
So let us know.
All in the name of Satan.
Right, so on point. With
That
your
would have been a
bumps.
perfect moment. I was trying to stretch so hard for you to find that bump.
Killing it.
The wrong fucking.
Killing it, baby.
I'm so glad we can at least hear the
All
notes.
in the name of Satan.
So now we know
All
that
in
you
the
fucked
name
up.
of
We can give you
Satan.
shit. So Cooter.
That's what it's all about, really.
Oh, Carl, man, he's a Cooter Carl.
Is there another I don't even think there's any. Maybe the Subway Ghost, but nah, I don't want to count that. No,
Not even
No,
really.
Carl.
no, not
It's
him.
Carl.
Maybe Willie.
He's like
would
a
be,
prototypical
but no,
80s
it's
Cooter.
Carl, yeah.
He's the
Mhm.
Brutus 80s. He's the Brutus of the 80s. He's fucking stabbing this dude in the back, trying to fuck his girl, like
Yeah.
doing all
So,
kinds of fucked up shit.
Let's see. Manipulation. He definitely manipulates the woman.
All
In
of
a
them.
couple different ways. ways.
Yeah.
Like the
Mainly, like,
banking
trying to-
system.
He knows that, like, he, obviously orchestrated it, but he makes her feel like a complete dumbass, for
He
believing.
gaslights the shit out of her.
Yeah, so he really fucks with her mind. So that's really fucked up. Sexual deviancy. He shows up to his best friend's house, who he had murdered,
Mhm.
and like spills coffee on his own shirt,
Oh,
so he can like
I'm so dumb.
with
I'm
this
have to
woman
pop
who's
this shirt off.
mourning her would-be husband. Her like
That is
would-be
a Dennis
fiancé.
Reynolds move.
Dude,
that is
is
not.
Yeah.
That is not
fucked up.
defensible in any way.
Yeah,
The
and
Dennis
constantly
system.
he's like, have
That is the
dinner with
Dennis
me.
system.
Just have dinner with. Oh, you don't like. You can't be sad. Like like you need to get out in the world. Like just really a huge piece of shit.
Oh, go on a
Yeah.
walk with me. It's fine. It's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah,
You gotta
just
keep
do-
living.
Do this bump of cocaine off my wiener real quick. It'll be
It's
great.
like right after he says, "I'll slash her throat. I swear to God." To the
Yeah.
empty room, or ghost. There's a ghost there. obviously.
It's
But
all
it's-
really
might
just
as well
in
be-
Carl's head. This is really just Carl
That could be
slipping
an.
into madness.
I would love to see the Jacob's Ladder version of this movie where Carl is just like losing his shit, and neither Whoopi nor fucking Sam are real.
He doesn't really hit the attire, I guess, because they're dressed pretty nice. Because
It's
He hits it when he takes
it's
that
80s
damn shirt
businessman
off.
attire, though.
yeah,
You know that
true.
motherfucker is Patrick Batemaning about his fucking clothes. You know
It's
he's
true.
doing that shit. He uses 12 scrubs on his face. You know it.
And smug arrogance.
Pumpkins.
He's an arrogant piece of shit, I would say. Don't you think?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh,
gotta be.
yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To like play that kind of con game on people, how do you do that unless you're like pretty fucking confident? He's not confident when talking to his like whatever his shady overlords that want to break his kneecaps and shit.
Oh
But
yeah. And
aside
see,
from
that's
that, like
and so on the 3 out of the 4 main points, he hit strong. But see, if we added patheticness, that would add that because he acts like this big man or whatever, and has like
Yeah.
his best friend killed. But then he's a sniveling little piece of shit when like the boss is coming
Mhm.
knocking and stuff. Yeah, so he's
Yeah.
pretty pathetic.
and he would have been if Sam was on to him. And like
Yeah.
if they had a confrontation between him and Sam when they were both alive, that dude would have dropped like a bag of fucking potatoes. His throat would have been gone.
And I would even say the way he interacts with Sam when he's alive, like he kind of like plays this kind of sniveling like sidekick a little bit. He's like,
Yeah.
I'll help you, man. I'll do that or whatever. And a little piece of shit.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I'll come help you move and shit. Like, fuck you.
Carl.
Get out of here. We don't want your help. You don't get any pizza for helping, bitch.
Cooter
outta
Carl. You don't get any pizza. I'll get you guys some pizzas, some sauce.
No pizza.
Says Swayze. I wish Swayze did
So
say
yeah,
that.
fuck Carl. I think he ranks pretty goddamn high on my Cooter Geiger counter.
Yeah.
He's the winner. He's
He's got a lot of he's got a lot of sands in his
Yeah.
in his closet.
I'm excited about potentially adding this fifth element here.
Well, great.
the fifth element. Yeah.
The pathetic
element
level.
is
I don't
love.
know. I think that was a good perception, Randy.
Hey, thanks, man. Thanks.
Good hunting.
All right, what's up?
We did
What's
it.
next?
did it.
I think, well, yeah, let's go ahead and get into our Hotline Scream segment here. So we got one voicemail this week. If anyone listening wants to call in and leave us a voicemail, you can hit us up at 904-638-3231. We got a voicemail here from Hydraberg this week. Let's go ahead and hear what the man has to say.
Here we go.
What up, boys? It's your boy Hydraberg calling in just to tell you why Ghost is a horror movie. Number one, it's a revenge tale, much like Mandy, except Patrick Swayze was also dead, which is totally horror. Then there's creepy train guy in a loop, stuck in a loop. I've seen dudes like that in New York City. Subways, they're scary. Then you got Whoopi's character, Otome, talks to dead people, also known as voodoo, horror. There's also a killer in this film. The dude gets killed and creepy shadow demons drag him to hell. And then finally we got our Cooter Carl. Every horror movie should have a Cooter, and this dude's totally like a big one. I think he hits all 4 points of the spectrum. You gotta love his death. It's nice and gory, just like he deserved. And that's why I feel like Ghost is definitely a horror movie. Also, most memorable Halloween costume probably would have to be the Breaking Bad costumes me and my buddy made one year. We cooked up blue rock candy and handed it out at the party. We won best costume and $100, so that's pretty good. Or the Mr. T one that I posted in the Slack like about a week ago. Sorry for the rush, but I just want to try and cram all that in one message. You guys just remember to keep chilling, all right? And I bet it's going to be a great episode.
Cool. Thanks for calling, Hydraberg. Always good to hear from you, man. I don't know that I totally agree. I mean, I
Man, he
feel
made
like
five good points. I was counting them.
He
I
made
feel
5
like his
points.
points are solid. They're pretty solid, but it still doesn't like the
A
vast
Cooter's
majority of
being
this
present.
movie.
Cooters are present in like 99% of 80s movies. So set that one
Yeah.
aside automatically. Fucking the guy on the train, he's not spooky. He's a little bit scary. I've seen people on subway trains that yell at people and shit. They're a lot scarier than fucking Vincent Schiavelli, I'll tell you that. They don't help you like Yoda. The death of Carl was the only really gory part, and it was just blood painted on a chest. You don't see anything happen really. It just kind of
There
happens.
was some
and he's
gore
lying
when
there.
Swayze dies.
So it's just blood on a body. It's like red temper paint on a body. It doesn't really cut it for me. And it's like you never see anything actually happen on screen.
He gets
Nothing's
pierced by a
visceral.
window.
It shows like the aftermath, but it doesn't show it happen really.
Maybe not. I can't remember. But
I
it's
don't think
pretty,
so.
It's pretty
I could
brutal
be-
when it's like a big pane of glass.
But
hanging out
that's
this
like
dude's belly.
one thing. And I don't think it's like, would anybody characterize this as a gory movie if they weren't trying to make a
No.
case for it being horror?
It's not a gory
Like,
movie.
If you're
at
not
all.
trying to fit this into the square peg, you're carving away the round edges to fit it into a square peg. It doesn't work. And even if it did,
Okay.
no one cares, man. Berg, you just trolling us, man. You just trolling us.
I know. I'm just rubbing it in, Rob. Just rubbing it in.
We
This is
appreciate
your
that. Like that
spooky
fucking
season.
$100 for your costume though. That sounds fucking dope.
Yeah, good job.
Yeah,
That was a few years ago. I dressed up as Hydraberg, and I had like little blue rock candy bags. And I remember just like throwing them around at people, like, because you could eat them. I was like throwing them around as candy. I accidentally hit one of our friends in the eyeball when I felt really bad about that.
Well, you were
Random
extremely drunk. I
memory.
remember closing
Yes.
that night with you playing Baby Blue on the
Yes.
fucking stereo and doing like the whitest dad dance of all time to it
Yes.
with your finger pointers. With your fingers are going like it was.
I
don't
do what
know.
I can.
Yeah, it was very, very, very Heisenberg of you.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. For me, like most memorable costume, I did the Yellow King when True Detective first came out, and I just
yeah.
literally wore just all yellow and put on a crown and put a spiral on my shirt, and that was fun because could just dress like I. It's always weird for me because I can't go without glasses. I can't do contacts anymore. It just hurts my eyes too much. I don't want to shave my beard for one night and then just like look terrible for however long it takes my ass to grow a full beard again.
Yeah.
So I am always basically like, oh, what bearded, bespectacled, fat white man do I want to be this for Halloween this year? It's like so it's a limited field. I could be Dennis Nedry or some shit. But
what about as a kid? What were you guys? Anything awesome as kids?
When I was a kid, I did dress up as a television that had a poster of the Power Rangers on the screen.
Nice.
That was pretty cool.
There you
It
go.
was a box, and I wore antennas on my head. So that was
nice.
I am an idiot box. Give me candy. My mom made a couple costumes for me when I was pretty little. She made like a lion costume, which I posted that on our Instagram a couple times on our Instagram story. And she also made me a clown costume once when I was like maybe 3 or 4, and she put it on me and I just started crying.
That's funny. Becky told me that she had her mom made her a Cleopatra costume once, and it was like really quickly done or whatever, and her mom was stressed out about it. And it was like, a pillowcase with, I forget what she said it was, but it was pretty rinky dink, and she gave her mom shit about it because she was like a tween or whatever. Her mom's like, fine, and just ripped it. Real pissed at her. Yeah, which is great. I was like, yeah, you fucking deserved it too. Your mom making you a fucking costume.
Oh man. I feel like I had a homemade like ET costume that I feel was kind of rough as like I mean, because
how long was the neck?
Because it was like brown, cause there's not a lot of detail.
Oh, what are you, a bag of Idaho potatoes?
Real lumpy, this kid.
I was a ninja.
This kid's lumpy as fuck.
I was a Ninja Turtle. It's like so many years in a row, but one that I remember that I thought was cool at the time. I don't know how cool it was. I don't know if I have a picture or not, but it was the mask, but it was the gold suit. So like I had this like gold suit as like a child or whatever, and it had like the hat that he wears and everything. So that was
the juke suit.
Yeah,
zoot suit, whatever.
Yeah, gold. Yeah.
Nice.
So I wore that. Me and Bob were Finn and Jake one year and just got really fucked up. So that's kind of
in New Orleans.
In New Orleans. Yeah. I was trying to think. Y'all always like went big on your costumes for the Halloween parties, but I can't remember any of them.
I did Ash one year.
Yeah.
I tried to do Dr. Hammond one year, and none of my shit came in time. So I just looked like a dude wearing a white button-up shirt.
You did a really great what's his face from Little Shop of Horrors, Randy. You made a paper mache.
Oh yeah, I did do
Seymour. Yeah.
That was a
really good. Yeah.
Cool.
I don't know. There's a lot of costumes.
Yeah. What's our question for next week, Bob?
We didn't really have that conversation. I had an idea, but y'all can weigh in on it. So we're just pretty much asking a different Halloween-related question each week for the month of October. I was thinking this week maybe we could talk about like Halloween pranks. Like, what's your best or your favorite Halloween prank?
Oh, you're assuming everyone was a deviant like you and me.
Yeah, that's true. I am making that assumption.
What was your favorite? What was your favorite instance where Rob or I fucked over your Halloween?
You could also, we could do your favorite like horror movie, but talk about what you've been watching. So you got a favorite you got a favorite Halloween or a Halloween theme? Maybe it could be like
if you got a spooky ghost story, tell it to us.
Ooh,
a 3-minute ghost story or less. Do that shit
or less. sure. One of those
That's
three
how long the
things you
quick
can
recordings
talk
go.
about.
Yeah.
There's just like, so
One
many
of
examples.
We might need to land on one. Just
No.
give people
We're
some.
professionals. We're professional.
Yep.
See, Rob, you always see professional.
You
huh,
always,
Bob?
always
Real professional here,
ponkums.
Oh God.
Bob.
So I guess leave us an answer about whatever the fuck.
Leave us an answer to any question that you
Yes.
desire.
Bob's so salty. We're
Tell us
talking
what your
about
dad's
Ghost right
like.
now.
I'd like to meet that dad.
What is your favorite Halloween watch? There we go. I'm taking charge here.
Oh boy.
Oh, now you are.
Alpha
Nothing
male
bad could ever
stains
happen.
over here.
Oh yeah. Oh man, we better we better be quiet, Rob.
What movie do you have to watch on Halloween night? I like that.
Yeah.
Halloween night.
I
what
can
are
tell you one for
watching?
me. When I was a teenager, man, Nosferatu. Watch that shit.
Nosferatu.
Pretty much every Halloween on 8.
Probably
Never
as
heard
a
of her.
Probably as a teenager, I might go like 13 Ghosts. I watched that shit so much when I was younger.
Fucking nerd.
Dear Lord.
Dude, 13 Ghosts is dope.
That's an alpha movie. You wouldn't get it. Beta.
You're just a beta.
It's a beta cool.
I don't know. I didn't have like a go-to back in the day. I've got several now, but I would definitely always put on
Bear Witch Project.
AMC, yeah, AMC Fright Fest. You know, they just have marathons. Like whatever was on was just what I was watching pretty much. So it was like,
Yeah.
Nightmare on Elm Street franchise, Halloween franchise, whatever. Hellraiser movie was on there. You know, I'd watch that shit.
That's good shit.
Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, again, you can hit us up at 904-638-3231. Let us know what you gotta watch on Halloween night. So there's only one thing left to do. It's time to save a life.
Where did Bob go wrong? Were he and his friends sifting way too long through those Blu-ray bins? And it gets worse, he'll have no jet ski, wasting all his dough on those DVDs.
Cool. Take it away, Juice.
It's time for an intervention, Bob. It is spooky season, and you promised us a bloodbath. Your words.
I did. You're right.
Rob buys a lot of Blu-rays, and we're trying to cut back on that, hopefully a little bit. But we're trying to see, could Bob have bought a jet ski had he just saved all his Blu-ray money? So far, Bob, it's October, and you are only at 4 Blu-rays so far from last week. So going into a new week, hopefully all those pre-orders have come in. Tell us what you got this week, Bob.
All right, YouTube exclusive. Here's the picture of the stack for the week.
1, 2, 3, 4. That doesn't look
4
like
more.
a bloodbath to me.
That looks like some pretty good flicks, though.
Yeah, sounds like the intervention's working, Bob. I saw Midsummer in there.
Yeah, so the 4 I got here, I picked up House, which was put out by Arrow Video, which was out of print for a long time, and then it just randomly popped
That's
up
the
on
American
Amazon.
House, right?
Yeah, that's correct. The American
Not
House.
the good one. Okay.
From the 80s. But yeah, so I guess Arrow's made more copies of it. I don't really know, but you can get it now. I picked up Midsummer on Blu-ray because that just came out. I
Director's
picked up
cut?
No, I got the American.
Oh, so you'll buy it again, huh?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe. We'll see.
Oh, Lord.
I also picked up a couple titles that are going out of print that are put out by Scream Factory. The first one is Wes Craven's Swamp Thing, and the other one is a double feature of Blackula and Scream Blackula Scream. That's what I got.
Nice.
All right.
Bob, I really think we're making a difference. It is spooky season, and your numbers are low. Lower than you.
I gotta
back
say,
in the
man,
day, you used to hit 8 in 1 week.
Dude,
That's true.
You just wait.
Hey, you know what? All our mothers were right all along. Shame really does the trick.
Yeah, that's how you fix a person. You know,
Yeah.
that's how you improve.
The way
them.
to improve a person is to belittle them and the things they enjoy until they stop it.
Yeah.
Really just suck the joy right out of their lives.
Oh yeah.
It's for their own good.
Oh yeah.
Thanks
It's for the greater good.
Thanks. That's funny as fuck. So yeah, I got those, and definitely have more coming for sure.
So wait, is there a director's cut out yet
That's
of
ominous.
Midsummer on
Yeah.
Blu-ray?
Yeah, but
okay,
it's
you just
only-
opted not to get it.
No, it's the UK Blu-ray release of Midsummer has the director's cut on it. So if you want to buy that, you got to buy it through like Amazon.
It's not region free. Okay.
No, actually,
boy.
I don't know if it is or not. It might not be region free. So
Whoa,
if you do buy it,
Oh.
if you do buy it, double check, see if it's
Is it
unlocked.
PAL?
or-
Is it the other thing that's not PAL? Who knows? We got to find out.
That's not.
Yeah, I don't even know what you're talking, PAL. I don't know what that is.
Whoa, we're really saving lives
Whoa.
today.
You know.
Whoa, is it PAL?
Rob, since you have cut back on the Blu-rays this month, are you stashing some away for the jet ski? Is that what you're doing? Is that why you've cut back?
No. I have never had any interest in owning a jet ski, so I'm
What?
not saving money for a jet ski.
Why is
Bob,
this the first time we're hearing about this?
But what happens when a hurricane hits, Bob, and you're
Yeah,
flooded?
Rob, how are you gonna like successfully drive away on your jet ski and cackle at the people drowning behind you?
I thought hurricane season was over.
All right. Well, Bob, we're proud of you. You're really showing improvement here.
All right, next week
You're really conforming to our whims, Bob.
some stuff might or might not be going down next week. We'll see what's
Yeah,
up.
you're
really
sending some ominous signals. You said that last week though, and we only got
Yeah.
the 4.5
So-
or whatever. So
Yeah, I'm getting a lot of stuff tomorrow actually, so that's good.
Oh, you're just
boy.
one day off. I thought you
Oh,
were really
boy.
sticking it to us, Bob. I thought you were really showing us what's for, but
Really got to get that third copy of Santa's Sleigh. I know.
You can never have too many, to be
The
honest.
extra 5 minutes really makes a difference.
Oh yeah.
Of like a Santa Say director's cut or some shit. Is
Yeah.
that what you're
Oh yeah.
talking-
Extra
Ah,
Goldberg. How can you
Uncut.
go wrong?
just
I want
like
it
his
Extra
uncut,
Fran Drescher.
please. Extra Fran.
Can I get extra Drescher on the salad?
I need a little extra Drescher on my sandwich, please. Please don't
I
skip.
need it. I deserve it.
I've earned it.
Boy, with it, we've
Cheat
gone
week.
so deep down a hypothetical rabbit hole. This is not
All right.
not
Yeah,
sensible.
that's the show. Those are the things that we talk about.
Is
on
that
our
our
show.
ghost
All right.
episode? Oh my
That's the-
god.
Put
One
it
of
in the fucking books.
one of the
Yeah.
best. I need a new
Right.
movie that I can harp on now from
Oh, you'll find one.
send your
God knows.
suggestions
God.
to our
Holy
hotline
shit.
scream.
I've been trying to talk about ghosts since episode 100.
spooky season and we only have 4 episodes. I gotta talk about this damn ghost.
I want
to talk like this too.
Oh, we're idiots.
Yeah, this
we
is
do.
what we do and put to the public. So good for no one, really.
Um,
After
That's
that It
gonna-
episode, it's just been crumbling. I told you guys. It's
Yeah.
just falling apart.
All of our psyches are broken because we had to watch Ghost.
friendship over. That is going to do it for us here at Straight Chilling. We're going to be back next week with a brand new review of a little movie called Haunt from 2019.
Hey, a new movie, Bob. Is it
I-
spooky?
Yeah, it's spooky. It's set on Halloween.
What's the Swayze quotient?
0% sways.
How
So,
many sex scenes are there?
9.
How much clay is in the movie?
Okay.
How much what?
Clay.
Oh, none. No clay.
What the
Oh.
fuck?
Yeah, pottery and chill. Yeah, so there are multiple Haunt movies. Make sure you get the one from 2019. That's what we're talking about next week. Until then, you can rate, review, and subscribe to us on iTunes. You can follow us on Twitter at str8_chilling. We're on Instagram at Straight Chilling Podcast. You can send us an email through our website, straightchillingpodcast.com. If you want to join us on Slack, talk about the movie of the week, TV shows, music, spooky season stuff, general conversations, let us know on
Rob
any
gives
one of
legal
those.
advice.
I do. Let us know on any one of those social media platforms, and I'll send you a link so you can join our Slack conversations. Hit us up on Twitch. Hit us up on YouTube. I think that's it. Leave us a voicemail, etc., etc. Until next week, as always, all you mother truckers, please keep chilling.